Doris Miller was a name that would become synonymous with bravery, sacrifice, and unwavering courage in the face of adversity. Born in Waco, Texas, on October 12, 1919, Doris was raised in a humble family, where his parents instilled in him a strong sense of duty and responsibility. But it wasn't until his time in the U.S. Navy during World War II that Doris Miller would emerge as an iconic American hero. In 1939, at the age of 19, Doris enlisted in the U.S. Navy, eager to serve his country and contribute in any way he could. Assigned to the USS West Virginia, a battleship stationed at Pearl Harbor, Doris never could have anticipated the dramatic events that would soon unfold. On December 7, 1941, a day that would live in infamy, the Japanese launched a surprise attack on the U.S. Pacific Fleet. The peaceful morning at Pearl Harbor was shattered by explosions and gunfire as the skies filled with enemy aircraft. The once pristine naval base was thrown into chaos, with ships and planes burning and sailors scrambling to defend their posts. Doris, a mess attendant at the time, was not in a combat position, but that would not stop him from showing extraordinary bravery. When the attack began, the USS West Virginia was hit multiple times by torpedoes and bombs, leaving it sinking and ablaze. Despite the perilous situation, Doris sprang into action, running to an anti-aircraft gun that had been abandoned by its crew. With no formal training on how to operate the gun, Doris did not hesitate. He fired relentlessly at the attacking Japanese planes, shooting down at least one. His actions were not just those of survival. They were acts of heroism that saved the lives of his fellow sailors and turned the tide of the battle for the ship. As the West Virginia was sinking, Doris assisted in evacuating injured sailors and carried many to safety. His courageous efforts did not go unnoticed. After the battle, he was awarded the Navy Cross, one of the highest military honors, for his extraordinary heroism and leadership under fire. Doris Miller was the first African American to receive the Navy Cross, a recognition that shattered barriers and cemented his legacy as a symbol of valor in the face of racial and national adversity. But Doris Miller's bravery didn't stop at Pearl Harbor. He continued to serve in the Navy, and his name became widely known throughout the country. He would be celebrated as an inspiration to others, especially to African Americans, who at the time faced segregation and discrimination in the military and throughout society. Miller's heroism on that fateful day proved that courage knew no race, no background, and no limits. Tragically, Doris Miller's story took another turn on November 24, 1943. He was aboard the USS Liscome Bay, an escort carrier, during the Battle of the Gilbert Islands in the Pacific. The ship was struck by a torpedo, and in the explosion that followed, the ship sank. Doris Miller was among the many sailors lost that day. He was just 24 years old. Though his life was cut short, Doris Miller's legacy endured. His bravery that day at Pearl Harbor and his subsequent heroism continued to inspire generations of Americans. In his honor, ships, schools, and parks were named after him, ensuring that his story would live on. Doris Miller had been an ordinary man who became an extraordinary hero. His actions on that fateful day at Pearl Harbor reminded the world that true heroes rise not because of their rank or the circumstances, but because of the strength of their character and their willingness to put others before themselves, no matter the cost. Today, Doris Miller is remembered not only as a symbol of heroism, but also as a trailblazer who helped to break down racial barriers in the military. His name will always be etched into the history of the United States as a true American hero.